none of you guys will come back up, and then Judy, if you'll come up when you see him moving, okay? And we'll sing a song. She's singing The Old Rugged Cross. Pretty nice, huh? She wanted to sing the fourth concerto by Tchaikovsky. I said, I'm not sure, Judy, if we know that. We'll leave that for another day. There's a phrase in the Bible that says he chose the foolishness of preaching to save the lost. When you just take the word foolishness and apply it to preaching, it might fit me. I may be there. But here's how it says this thought. For whosoever will call on the name of the Lord will be saved. But then it says, how then will they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how will they believe in him in whom they have not heard? And how will they hear without a preacher? So we go back to he chose the foolishness of preaching to save those which are lost. But how are they going to hear if there's not a preacher? And how are they going to believe on somebody they've never heard of? The other day I was watching a little commercial, a little phony commercial about some orphanage off over somewhere. And the guy was making the comment that this little kid, he said, well, do you know who Jesus is? And the little kid in Ethiopia said, I've never heard the name Jesus. And actually that part's true. There are people all over the earth that have never yet even heard the name Jesus. You can go to Buddhist countries and all kinds of different countries. Red China, it's illegal to be a Christian. We sometimes, next time you go to Walmart and you buy an apron or whatever it is you buy, and it says made in China, just remember this. They killed 70,000 Christians last year, and their crime was they owned a Bible. Oh. That's why I don't buy Chinese. I just don't do it. If I go in somewhere and it says made in China, I move down the line. That just gives me shivers. To think the only sin was just like you guys walked in today and you have your Bible tucked under your arm if you want to. You can't there. You'll be killed for it. Korea, other places in the world. But Korea don't make your products. And but I'll buy stuff in Walmart. I go to Walmart when I have to. But I'll go to Walmart, but if it says made in China, I'm out. I can live without it. I tell you folks, I can live without it, whatever it is. If I can't find it made somewhere else in the world by civilized people, then I just do without it. But we're talking about how people first hear about the Lord. And God has chosen the foolishness of preaching. Now, I want you to think of this for just a second. Everybody sitting here is a preacher. It doesn't require a lot of Bible reading. It really doesn't. It requires something as simple as, here's a card for our church. Would you like to come to church? And then once they get here, everybody else can say something that would, edify them in a special way. And the important part of that is it doesn't require an enormous amount of Bible knowledge. I just want to reinforce that. It requires a desire on your part to make sure that people that you come in contact with know who you are. And that gets really simple. A business card, a church card. And you just simply say, listen, I'd like to invite you to church. Once they see that card, they know who you are. You're a Christian. And you're interested in their well-being. When I go down through the hospital, sometimes they don't want you, particularly this one, the close one. They don't want me going in every room, but I sneak in as many rooms as I can sneak into. I get caught occasionally. But the other hospital, Warmsey, I'm a chaplain there, so I can go in there anytime and go in any room I want to. But the beautiful part about that is that's just as important. If you just walk into a hospital room and say, how you doing today? Well, I'm not doing too good. What's your problem? And so they tell you, and you get into a conversation, and before you leave, all you have to do is hand them a card and say, listen, I know you're going through a tough time in your life. If there's anything in the world that we can do, and I always say we, that means you. If there's anything in the world that we can do to help you in any way, all you've got to do is call. Most of the time, they mention something right then. Most of the time, we get right down to it. And I find that a pleasure. And it's not only a pleasure, simple. Some people say to me all the time, it's not uncommon. People say, yeah, but Gene, I'm just too shy. I'm uncomfortable. I have a hard time doing that. Well, don't worry about having to quote Scripture. I mean, who can't remember Jesus, for God so loved the world, He gave His only begotten Son. And My testimony to people is really quite brief and quite simple, and I've said it to you before. Let me say it again. I say to people, I love you because Jesus loves you.